Can small habits really change your life? What if a tiny change today could transform your entire life tomorrow? Let's discover the power of atomic habits. Introduction: The surprising power of atomic habits. James Clear opens the book by introducing his own journey of recovery after a life-threatening injury. This personal anecdote sets the tone for what follows. A book not about overnight success, but about the slow, steady power of small improvements. Clear argues that success doesn't come from radical change, but from a compound effect of tiny habits, what he calls atomic habits. These habits, though small and seemingly insignificant in the moment, add up over time to produce remarkable results. The introduction sets the stage by reinforcing one central theme. If you can get 1% better each day, those improvements will accumulate into something extraordinary. Chapter 1: The 1% Rule. The first chapter emphasizes the idea that making small improvements each day can lead to significant long-term gains. Clear explains that habits are the compound interest of self-improvement, just as money multiplies through compound interest. The effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them over time. A small change might not seem to make much difference today, but over months or years, it can determine whether you succeed or fail. Using real-life examples like the British cycling team, Clear shows how philosophy of marginal gains, improving everything by just 1%, led to historic success. The lesson here is simple but powerful. Focus on getting slightly better consistently. Chapter 2: How habits shape your identity and vice versa. In this chapter, Clear shifts the focus from goals to identity. Most people focus on what they want to achieve, but Clear suggests focusing instead on who they want to become. True behavior change is identity change. Instead of setting the goal, I want to run a marathon, it's more powerful to say, I am a runner. Habits become the path to embodying your desired identity. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. Therefore, to change your behavior for good, you need to start by believing in a new identity and reinforcing it with small wins. This perspective makes habit formation more meaningful and sustainable. Chapter 3: How to build better habits in 4 simple steps. Here, Clear introduces the 4 laws of behavior change by breaking down how habits actually work. All habits follow the same cycle: cue, craving, response, and reward. This loop is what drives human behavior. The cue triggers the brain to initiate a behavior. The craving provides a motivation. The response is the habit itself, and the reward is the end goal. Understanding this cycle is essential because it allows you to design better habits by manipulating each step. Clear sets up the foundation for the rest of the book, which explores how to make good habits obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. One law for each of the 4 steps in the habit loop. Chapter 4: The Man Who Didn't Look Right. This chapter focuses on awareness. You can't change a habit you don't notice. Clear encourages readers to observe their behavior and take a habit inventory. He introduces the concept of a habit scorecard, a simple way to become more conscious of your routines by writing them down and rating them as good, bad, or neutral. He argues that self-awareness is the first step toward change. Often, we act out of habit without realizing it. So becoming aware of your daily behaviors helps you regain control and sets the stage for intentional improvement. Chapter 5: The Best Way to Start a New Habit. Once you're aware of your habits, you can begin to shape them deliberately. This chapter introduces 2 key strategies: implementation intentions and habit stacking. Implementation intentions involve specifying exactly when and where you will perform a habit. I will do habit at time and location. Habit stacking builds on this by attaching a new habit to an existing one. After I brush my teeth, I will meditate for 1 minute. These techniques make habits easier to remember and integrate into your daily routine, increasing the chances that they'll stick. Chapter 6: Motivation is Overrated. Environment often matters more. Contrary to popular belief, motivation isn't the key to lasting change. Environment is. This chapter argues that the people and spaces around you play a huge role in shaping your behavior. By designing your environment to support good habits, You make those behaviors easier to execute. For example, if you want to read more, place a book on your pillow. If you want to eat healthy, make fruits visible and accessible. Clear emphasizes that it's easier to build good habits in a good environment than to rely on willpower alone. Chapter 7. The Secret to Self-Control. Continuing the theme of environment. This chapter explores how to reduce bad habits by removing the cues that trigger them. Clear references studies showing that people with better self-control don't necessarily have more willpower. They simply avoid temptation. If you want to break a bad habit, eliminate the triggers. If you can't see the cookie jar, you won't crave it. By mastering your surroundings, you set yourself up for better choices without having to fight internal battles constantly. Chapter 8. How to Make a Habit Irresistible. In this chapter, Clear discusses the role of dopamine and how it influences the habit-forming process. He explains that our brains are not only stimulated by the reward of a habit, but even more by the anticipation of that reward. This is why the craving phase of the habit loop is so powerful. One way to leverage this is by using temptation bundling, pairing an action you want to do with one you need to do. For example, only listen to your favorite podcast while doing household chores. This makes the habit more attractive and gives your brain a reason to look forward to it. Clear also touches on how cultural and personal expectations shape our desires, and how aligning your habits with a positive narrative about yourself can enhance their appeal. Chapter 9. The Role of Family and Friends in Shaping Your Habits. Our social environment has a powerful influence on our behavior. We tend to imitate the habits of three groups: the close family and friends, the many peer groups, and the powerful, those we admire. If your friends smoke, you're more likely to smoke. But if you surround yourself with people who have the habits you aspire to, you're more likely to adopt them. Clear suggests joining groups or communities where your desired behavior is the norm. Identity and belonging play a significant role in shaping who we become. Chapter 10. How to Find and Fix the Causes of Your Bad Habits. Chapter 10 emphasizes the importance of understanding the deeper causes behind our bad habits. Clear explains that every behavior has a surface-level craving and a deeper underlying motive. For example, the habit of checking your phone constantly may be driven by the desire to connect with others or avoid boredom. By identifying the true cause, you can redesign the habit to meet that need in a healthier way. Awareness of the why behind the what is the first step toward lasting transformation. Chapter 11. Walk slowly, but never backward. This chapter deals with the importance of consistency over perfection. Clear illustrates how missing a single habit isn't the problem. It's the spiral of guilt and giving up that often follows. He encourages readers to build a never-miss-twice mindset. Tracking habits and having a system for getting back on track quickly after setbacks is more important than striving for perfection. This keeps the long-term progress intact and allows habits to remain sustainable. Chapter 12. The Law of Least Effort. People naturally gravitate toward the option that requires the least amount of effort. This chapter shows how to design habits that align with this tendency. By reducing friction, the obstacles between you and your good habits, you make them easier to perform. For example, putting your workout clothes next to your bed or removing junk food from your house lowers the barrier to success. Simplicity and ease make a habit stick. Chapter 13. How to Stop Procrastinating by Using the 2-Minute Rule. Clear introduces the 2-minute rule, which states that any new habit should take less than 2 minutes to start. This approach helps defeat procrastination and builds momentum. Want to read more? Start by reading 1 page. Want to work out? Just put on your shoes. Scaling down the habit to its simplest version makes it easier to begin, and starting is often the hardest part. Once started, the rest often follows naturally. Chapter 14. Make it satisfying. The final law of behavior change, make it satisfying, is the focus here. Clear explains that we are more likely to repeat a behavior when it feels good. This is why immediate rewards are critical. Long-term benefits often aren't enough to keep us engaged. Adding some form of immediate gratification to a habit like crossing off a checklist, reinforces it in the short term and helps establish it in the long run. Chapter 15. The Cardinal Rule of Behavior Change. The cardinal rule is, what is immediately rewarded is repeated. What is immediately punished is avoided. Clear discusses accountability, both internal and external, creating habits that feel good now, or connecting them to some social or personal reward, increases the chance of repetition. He also highlights the role of habit contracts, agreements with others that raise the stakes and create real consequences for missing habits. Chapter 16. How to stick with good habits every day. Clear provides tools for building consistency through tracking and accountability. Habit trackers, calendars, and streaks provide visual proof of progress, which is itself motivating. These tools help you stay honest and reinforce identity. Public accountability, having a habit partner, or even making it fun can also strengthen the behavior. Chapter 17. How an accountability partner can change everything. This chapter dives deeper into social accountability. By sharing your goals and progress with someone else, you create a sense of responsibility. Clear shares stories of people who used public bets or social pressure to stay on track. The presence of someone who supports or challenges you to grow can be one of the most effective reinforcements for habit building. Chapter 18. The Truth About Talent. When genes matter and when they don't. Clear explores the role of genetics and natural ability. He explains that while talent plays a role, it's far more important to find the right habits for your personality and environment. Success often comes not from trying to be great at everything, but from focusing your energy on areas where you are naturally strong. Playing to your strengths makes habits feel easier and more rewarding. Chapter 19. The Goldilocks Rule. How to stay motivated in life and work. According to the Goldilocks Rule, people stay motivated when working on tasks that are just the right level of difficulty. Not too hard, not too easy. This chapter explains how to balance challenge and ability to stay in the zone of peak performance. Boredom and burnout are signs that you may need to recalibrate. Staying within this sweet spot helps you maintain motivation over the long run. Chapter 20. The Downside of Creating Good Habits. Clear acknowledges that even good habits can become automatic and lose their edge. Complacency can creep in once a habit is established. He advises building systems that include regular reflection, review, and refinement. The best performers, whether athletes, artists, or professionals, constantly push their standards and upgrade their routines. The goal is not to reach a plateau, but to keep evolving. Conclusion. The secret to results that last. Clear concludes by reinforcing the central ideas of the book. Small changes make a big difference. Identity shapes outcomes, and systems beat goals. The path to success is not a single defining moment, but a continuous commitment to tiny improvements. Atomic habits are the foundation of extraordinary results. The book ends with a call to action. If you want better results, forget about goals and focus on your systems instead. Every small choice counts, and the cumulative effect of these choices defines who you become.